Beautiful noise and the competitive edge too. You could sense that Troy wanted to show the young Hayden who was team leader. Inside line, just like old times. In the Foggy Petronas garage, it was time to move.
One to go. Guys! Lids on.
Britain was about to hear and see the FP-1 in action.
It's so much fun. I love that. I love that.
How is it, Carl?
Yeah, brilliant. It's so much fun, that was. So nervous. You're trying to look at the crowd and trying to concentrate on riding the bike. It's not really more than 2 years. I'm thinking.
After 9 months of highs and hiccups, Hayden and Corser could at last go out to play. You could have toasted marshmallows with the afterburners, but these flames were not a problem. The day had certainly started well. No obvious problems after the first series of laps. The bike had looked and sounded good, better than good. And the team waited for the all-important opinions from the men in the hot seats. The news was what they had all hoped for.
It was hard to pull into the pit. I thought you were right.
weekend one had already been a success for Troy Corser and the Foggy Petronas team. Could they translate a front row start into precious World Championship points? Soon we would know.
Revs are up, ready for a start, and the season begins with a cracking start there for Hodgson straight away. You can just see now moving across onto the left-hand side of the street there, jockeying for position as Corser goes with had a flyer and he's through. Dowsing right behind him, everyone through cleanly, getting shuffled back big time. Walker's a big mover there as well, Walker down the inside, so Coast leads the first race of the season. Dowsing behind, then it's Walker side by side, Hodgson and Corser battling it out up through turn 3, looking left.
Troy Corser got swamped at the start, but he's battling his way back, and he is there right behind Neil Hodgson on the second back. He's happy out there at the moment. Great start there from James Tozer. The worry that Hodgson will have now is because Zou's behind Tozer. If Zous gets past Tozer quickly and leaves him behind, Hodgson had a look on the inside, up the inside of Chris Walker.
Yeah, I tell you what, I think Chris Walker is going to keep our hotshot really, really busy. Now, there's Steve Martin, there's Regis Rigonia right behind him. Lavia, that's good stuff, having a good show. There's Frankie Keeley, just sliding down the inside there of Troy Corser. Corser moves back, that'll put Corser in 9th position. Great for watching the scene out on track. I was just going to make the point, not everybody, most riders have not done a full race run. If you look at the big flame out we were talking about Troy just before the race began. Really that looks exactly.
Yeah, it's quite unique this Foggy. So FP-1 is off the track and it's close and he's in the going down. Corser is down, that's bad news there. He just went in there too hot, got wide, we saw his foot come down, so that's Corser out. He's not going to bring it home in the top 10. He's annoyed with himself. I think that was probably just a little bit of a mistake. He just ran in there a bit too hot. Very difficult for me to say. Could have had a mechanical problem, but here we go. We'll have a look at this as he comes into the right-hander, flames out the back of the bike, and he just looks run wide. He's got it all wrong, and now he's on the marbles. The track's slippery. You can see him sliding. There's no grip. He knows he's going off the track, but once you get in that gravel, there's nothing to do about it, really. He just loses it at this point. It could just be worse than riding on glass, so down he goes.
The Fila team. Hodgson was, of course, in pole position.
Lights are red, revs are up, ready for a start. Looks like a good start there for Tozer. Great start for Walker, we saw him slipping past. Corser already now. A better start this time for Neil Hodgson. You bet it is for Tozer. 52, Hodgson just slipped past. So it's Hodgson, Tozer, Downs in there as well. So you 1, 2, 3 off the line, a 1, 2, 3 first. And a great start there from Frankie Keeley. Look at bike number 7 up in there as well. Downs challenging, slipped past Tozer straight away. Walker's on the outside of that. What can you make of that? In through the back end of the field there. There's Versailles just ducking around. See what he can do there for Hodgson.
Now, Laconi has retired post 4, but we also Hodgson again faster. This is an outright lap record there.
And look, Lavia has slipped past Troy Corser there on the FP-1. So now you've got Walker, Martin rather, I'm sorry, being pursued very hotly by Lavia. And the Foggy Petronas team just moving back.
Corser is all over the back of, all over the top of Busy on the corners, in the braking areas. It's just unfortunately down this straight that we're about to come on to the main start of this race, where he loses the time and then he has to make it all up that curve cam there.
This bike in the lead of this battle, and it looks very much, you can't see him hiding in there, but there he is, Steve Martin. He looked like he had a very good drive out of there. We're coming down into turn 1, Martin having a look. Is he close enough? There you go. Bike number 99 is now back in front. This is just going on and on and on. Martin now back in front. Lavia on the Works Suzuki behind, and Corser on the Works FP-1 still in the hunt.
Yeah, Corser's not done with, is he? You watch now, you see the distance there now. This is the pass at the end of the straight it was. Use the slipstream, we've seen him. Look at him breaking the back end of that bike, snaking around, leaving black lines as he unloads the rear end of that bike, breaking into turn 1. He's made it stick. Will there be a
So bright weather, track conditions perfect for the start of race 1.
Okay, revs are up, ready for a start. Lights are red. And we're away. Pretty good start there by Hodgson. Belgium, start by Walker. Watch the Walker on the left-hand side of the screen. Hodgson now, we're riding with Corser in behind Lavia into this first right-hander. Really, really quick stuff. Watch for them, they're coming around now. Hodgson's got the lead. There's Laconi, made a pretty good start as well, slipping up the inside. Walking round to the left now.
very much so.
Keely's running with them too. Keely side by side, looking for a position, trying to have a duck down the inside. The field's about to filter left, somebody kicking up the dust. And an absolute flyer from look here.
Keely's trying to go on the inside. Is he going down the inside into hold the corner? He's jamming it down the inside of Hodgson, and he has number 7, Frankie Keely. Takes the lead.
A bit of a touch there as well. That was walking just right on the back of Hodgson. Almost touch tires there. Down into Siberia now. Keely's in the lead. Breaks in front of Hodgson.
Look at Tozer, 52. Really sliding in there, but he
Position, look, big time. Horses down the inside of it. Well, Dowson's already got past him side by side. Bits of motorbike hitting everywhere.
yeah, that's good. Maybe they're going to. Oh, he's got both sides to that bearing. That is incredible there. So something, I don't know whether he got bashed or something broken on that bike, but both sides of that bearing is gone. That would be lucky around the bearing. But let's check his speed still up to that.
That does look alarming.
It does look quite alarming. The thing that will be quite disconcerting for Tozer, and maybe he'll get sorted out if he doesn't get pulled in.
Yeah, well, a word from the pits, they're going to bring him in. I think his team's going to.
Okay, well that's maybe
had
the
word
case.
up.
Yeah, but it'll feel strange to him riding it because normally the fairing puts the wind around your legs and it'll feel like you're being buffeted around. It's the most strange thing. If you lose a screen, I've had it happen. It just feels peculiar. You can get acclimatised to it, but it does seem very strange in the first instance.
Well, seeing Bike 100 in the lead is not a big surprise as Tozer just slides it in, but he's still fighting very hard with Corsa. I mean, remember this is when Corsa stuck him through last time around. Tozer fighting back for now, riding with Troy Corsa.
Making a second successive double for himself and the Fila Ducati team.
Red lights are on, revs are up, we're ready for a go in race 2 here at Phillip Island, and they're off. Everyone away smoothly, that's better from Garcia, looks pretty good from Keely as well. Hodgson's gone with him, there's the view back. That's Garcia in behind us, there's Frankie Keely, so there's your race order. We've learned from the back of Hodgson's front, nice stuff, and good stuff from Keely. Look at Garcia hanging in there around the outside through 2 1/4. Now there's the South Left-hander. Laconia a bit of a mover there as well. Great stuff, of course, from Walker. Always a strong starter. Corsa in there, and there's Tozer having a little sniff down the inside of Corsa as we go down through the southern loop. We're on board with Corsa now. Tozer's ahead.
So we're all set for race 1. Your commentary team, Steve Parrish and Charlie Cox.
We prepared to start with race 1, and the revs are up. The lights are red, ready for a start, and we're away. Good start there for Laconia. A bloke down in the middle, but Laconia's absolutely gone, and I think it's Watanabe's gone with him. Walking to the right hand for the first time. Yes, it is Laconia. Great stuff from him. Oh, no, he's not winning. Right, he's off. Lots of
Chance they're going to continue off this race.
and the Kawasaki. Yeah, both things have fun.
I have a feeling that was Keely that caused that. That's Petronas.
Yeah, let's talk about Corsa's bikes. Foggy Petronas. That it's Corsa, Keely, hobbling there. They don't know in the front course. They just kept going, but I'm sure they're going to red flag that. You've got 4 riders down in turn 1. We said it was a difficult turn. Everyone's still running. Here's another look, Steve. Hosing up into the first corner now. First 2 through, including 2 on the grass there. That's a Kawasaki on the grass. Just 10-pin bowling, taking everybody out.
Yeah, somebody on the grass there. You don't know.
That was that Kawasaki. I can't see who it was.
Yeah, just took everybody out.
As you can see there, the gap between Sanchini and Hayden is falling. It's gone from 1.7 to under a second, so he's pushing and short of a distraction there from bike number 76 behind him. He might be in reasonable shape.
And just watch this Suzuki. Number 76 there, Watanabe's been one of the fastest bikes I suspect here, and he does. Look at that, he's pulled out. He's gone down the inside, but this is where we saw him out break himself before. Has he done it this time? No, this time he manages to hold it in nice and tight.
You just have a look at the replay there. He just carried the speed side to side early enough, and then
Yeah, nothing Hayden could do about that. There was a bike where he wanted to turn in, so it didn't aim Watanabe just to let the brakes up a little bit, tucks it in there nicely into that turn 1, and away he goes. Look, now he's using the horsepower again.
that's Mauro Sanchini, bike number 6. I reckon that was a short-lived wobble from Watanabe. That was pretty ineffectual when wobbles go. James Tozer and Keely sliding in behind that. You saw Dutsu as well working his way up to the field. Everyone else, Keely was shouting in effect. Revs are up, ready for a start. And the lights are out. Good start there for Hodgson, not so good for Keely. Tozer, I think, went with him as well. Hodgson on the right, Tozer in the middle. Chris Walker battering his way through on the left. He looks like he might
Hodgson now with a 60-point lead in the championship and consistently good off the line this season. But this time his start was anything but smooth.
Lights are on, revs are up, and we're away. Hodgson away. Well, that's better, Frankie. A very good start there from Walker as well. Bike number 9 over to the left-hand side of the screen. Jockeying very hard. He's side by side with Laconi. There's Neil Hodgson coming into the first corner. Levere explodes down the inside. Well, I think it's Levere either that or Iannuccio. But straight through for the first time, and it's Laconi, bike number 55. Walker has gone with him into second place. I'm getting mighty confused. That is Neil Hodgson. There's Swamp.
Yeah, that was Iannuccio that went in there third. He nearly wiped everybody out. He was down the inside, just slammed the brakes, and there's Hodgson.
Track temperature of 48.
This start's important, really important, and they're away. Everyone looks as though it's pretty clean. Hodgson's all right on the outside of the screen. Watch for that man Iannuccio, the yellow machine down the inside. 31, yep, I thought he might do it. Iannuccio is through first. He's got to hang on to it. He is a demon starter, knows this track. The privateer who stuffed his bike up there on the front row of the grid is now leading the race, but not for long. Hodgson lunges down the inside into the tight curve of the Carrow, and Hodgson now resumes natural race order. This is the long, sweeping hook down the back straight. What a blinder of a start, though. Stuck his nose in.
I'm glad I didn't shake your hand on that one, Charlie. You were right into turn 1, but Hodgson got him back, didn't he, into the very, very tight curve of Del Carro now. Hodgson's got the speed there. This is good. Tozen up into second place.
And Laconi's having a lunge as well. Laconi's just moving on the inside there, but Iannuccio hanging on. There's the view from Laconi's machine. We're working back up the hill now, out of the bottom Tramonto corner. Up to Garcia now. Look at this, 55. Laconi's having a big lunge. He might take 2 here. Oh, no, tear it. Take the whole piece. Laconi pushes very hard. Gets past Iannuccio. Moving up onto the back of Tozen. So into the red machine, bike 152. The orange machine, James Tozen in second. Then the black machine, 55. Now, a real issue for Frankie Keeley. He's not made a great fist of this at all. He got shuffled back a little bit. Frankie Keeley finds himself in 5th position. Fans of Chris Walker will be pleased to know he's up into 9th place. He qualified poorly in 13th. But there's lights red, ready for a start, and we're away. Everyone away cleanly. I don't know if it's a flying start for Keeley. Pretty good start there for Hodgson. 52, James Tozen, but no, it's Hodgson through. In behind him goes Iannuccio. That's pretty good stuff, but all through cleanly. Here's the Laconi eye view, going back up the hill. In front of us we've got Tozen now. We're coming up. This is Garcia, the right-hander, and he's through.
Neil Hodgson will be thinking, what on earth is going on here? Look at Laconi, 55, using the speed that he can. Can he outbrake him this time? And he does into second.
Okay, nice stuff there from Laconi. He had that lined up. That was looking pretty good.
Into the pack as they come tearing off the line, and it looks as if it might have been a look at the view he's got from there. Even one of the Foggy Petronas guys has gone past him. So Vermeulen again giving himself a lot of work to do in mid-pack as he searches for a way through in about 5th place through the southern loop. Oh dear, we're all over the place. Where was Steve Martin going then? He's held up the whole pack. What a strange thing up there, because as we're on board with Chris Vermeulen, he suddenly shot across one way as Martin went the other, and a gap opened up behind him, and suddenly he's through the third.
Yeah, although Vermeulen didn't make a good start, he made the most of the sort of shenanigans on the first couple of corners. He's still a third. That's just what he needed.
And one of their picture, the Foggy Petronas guys is in there as well. Gary McCoy has made a blinding start. He's in second place behind Rich's Laconi. Can McCoy, the ZZ top boy, get himself to the front? He's got himself off the line in great style. He's benefiting from the shenanigans. And Vermeulen, amazingly, after that terrible getaway, has somehow foxed his way into 3rd place. And the man who's really suffered is James Tozen, who finds himself rather further downfield than he would have hoped. So after that confused start to race 2, at the front we've got the first race winner, Regis Laconi, and behind him we've got Gary McCoy, and in 3rd place the 2nd place man got a 6 km/h slipstream. Ducati.
That is impressive.
It is, isn't it?
Yeah. We'll see how, if it stays on, we'll see how quick his bike is down the straight compared to Haga's.
Here he goes.
Yeah.
13th place. I just wonder, can it adversely affect you if you've missed out on the first race? I win this and take 11 points of the championship leader. And look at Killy. Killy's also beginning to get a bit of a wind up, and must be the equivalent of a red rat to the bull, seeing that beautiful turquoise machine ahead of him and thinking that really it ought to be. Look at the flames licking out of the back of Troy Corse's bike. Haga hanging on to that place. Oh, and Haslam's. For a moment, Haslam was cruising, was he?
He's been off the track. If you saw his rear tyre was covered in dust. He's obviously been off the track and into the gravel somewhere.
That was a lovely view, the rear view there, going over the top of Lucky Heights and Troy Corse, and then the Dolly one with the way he can break that FP-1 at the bottom of that hill.
No, there isn't.
Very late. Gianni must feel that he's got to try and keep his championship chances alive with some sort of decent point scoring ride in this outing. Killy's still very much in the mix. He's had such good rides here, finished third last year in race 2.
Right on the inside of Haga, but just didn't come off.
Well, actually, Killy more often than not has had bad days at Phillip Island. He was third back in the year 2000 on the Suzuki, but of course he's also suffered for a busted up tyre on the Suzuki as well. And this 8-wheeler now, here comes Frankie Killy trying to find a way up the inside, but at Lucky Heights, as they go over the top here, this great dive down, and once again Corse, for a moment he's going to go to the inside there.
Yeah, he looks actually like he's trying to get past Haga, which is possibly because he's got Killer breathing down his neck, and he didn't want to get caught napping by Killer.
He seems to be managing to hold. Watch this. As Sam Davis's charming wife watches from the pit wall to see where he's going to be. Here they come, and he's not really losing too much. The Renegade Ducati does pull out a couple of bike lefts, but he's in the slipstream.
Yeah, but not that bad.
Here comes Killy. No, he can't get through on the PSG 1999. Oh, there he goes. Oh, what a move. Troy Corse just dives up the inside into the southern loop
And sets him on fire for good measure.
Absolutely torches him. And this is Troy Corse at his best. This is a man who knows this circuit so well, and even on an underpowered FP-1 feels like he should be able to do something about it.
Yeah, good that. We like that.
Killy tries to get underneath his old wall, his old sparring partner Haga. He does it. Killy goes through. So excitement here, the battle for places is really heating up. And at the moment, we're going to come back. We're going to take a quick break. Don't go far. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Phillip Island. Here's the battle between Ivan Clementi and Chris Walker. This is the battle between Troy Corse, Frankie Killy number 7, number 20 Marco Borciani slips underneath the Renegade Ducati in number 41, a somewhat subdued Noriyuki Haga. And Corse riding with terrific. The battle for the places, and look at this boy Marco Borciani. We better believe Stephen J. Martin when he said that his teammate's good, because he's got the better of Frankie Killy, Nori Haga and Troy Corse. Corse has been putting up such a brave performance on the fire-eating, fire-burning glowworm of an FP-1. But Frankie Killy now challenging his younger compatriots. Probably thinking to himself, well, stop me, if Borciani can make the 999 go this fast with my vast wealth of experience, I ought to be able to get somewhere near him.
So he's reverted back to the 998 then for this race. He's on the older bike there.
But Marco Borciani still in there to try and do something about it. Look at this! Corse back ahead of Nori Haga.
Yeah.
What a brilliant ride from Troy Corse, the 96 World Champ.
Corse is digging right in there.
Oh, well, he says his friends and family are always around to watch him here, so he wants to get a result in. Into 5th place, 6th place Nori Haga.
onslaught of wind as they head down to the first corner. Away we go, Phillip Island for round 2. A great start from both Corsa and Kageyama at the start of this one. They got away very well indeed. Steve Martin did not get away. Andrew Pitt got away brilliantly, and it is almost getting the whole shot. His team heads into second place, but it looks like Kageyama has made
It's Corsa. It's well done. Going back in third. Petronas actually made fourth place. That's a great start from them. The second row was second.
Excellent start by Andrew Pitt when he was looking for a good start, and he got it. Out of turn 2 there, Troy Corsa leads the way. He got the start he wanted, and you have to worry because Troy Corsa said that if he can get a little bit of clean air, he doesn't expect to get it, but that's what he'll be hoping for.
Neuklo not such a good start. You can see he's struggling with the Petronas bike, so that was their first big opening opportunity. The Cody got away well.
Unbelievable start by number 41. I can't believe it. My eyes deceive me. Surely not. Harger is up there in the top 6 maybe. Corsa Pitt. Kageyama's just moved into second place in pursuit. Harger, it is Harger in 8th position ahead of Mudridge from 19th on the grid.
That's a phenomenal start. I wonder if it's a jump start, but either way, it's always known that this guy's phenomenally fast, but he just can't do it in qualifying. Come to the race.
Overlook behind for the first time. Troy Corsa of Australia, the former world champion, leads the way from the championship leader. His teammate Kageyama, the two Alstar Suzuki's leading the way. Ahead of Andrew Pitt, who got a phenomenal start from the second row. That's the top 3 at the moment.
Corsa actually started to spread the field a bit. He's very good in the first couple of laps of the race.
Away we go for race 2 then. A good start from Kageyama. Not a brilliant one from Corsa, and he might be able to hold that position. Good start from Steve
I
Martin.
think Corsa got a pretty good start. He wasn't quite so sharp off the line, but good drive.
Very good drive, and it is Pitt again. He's done it, you know.
It's Corsa from Pitt.
Pitt has done it again. He's got right up there.
And Neuklo is up there in third place. He's just tucking up the inside of Kageyama, so Kageyama's going to be pushed out, but Kageyama won't be taking any of that.
And Arbe's done it too. Arbe's right up there from the third row. Look at him, number 3.
Kageyama actually obviously leaning on Neuklo, who's actually upset himself. He's dropped back potentially third place to about 5th or 6th. And look, he's really wide again.
So Troy Corsa gets away. Nurko now at the inside of Honda to go into second place ahead of Andrew Pitt. Next, number 1, James Tosley.
Kageyama, where he's passed by a few guys, and tried to drive up the inside the ramp really right, so he's really set himself a long way back.
Good clean start. Two riders going off at the back there coming out of Honda.
Yeah, this is so tight to get the first lap.
Corsa already building on his lead. Pitt back into second place by the looks of things. Is that the Cody into? I think it is. Cody's not well up there.
He was second or third. He's now dropped back to about 5th place, and he's
Look,
back
Cody
in
up to
Arbe.
second. And look at Tozen fighting away with the two Petronas boys. So this is a much better showing already by the factory boys. And there's Chris Walker is up there as well.
So that's going to be an interesting race this time.
So Troy Corsa may not change at the front too much. We're going to have a cracking battle just behind. The Cody now moves up to second place and in pursuit. Fastest bike in a straight line. Down across that
Season like this.
again. Troy Corsa's done it.
Kageyama up the inside. It's Kageyama. Is it Chris Walker in third?
Chris Walker.
Did we say Chris was great from there?
Incredible start from Walker. Wow.
This could be his day. It's always great to have a big start.
How do you do that? How do you practice to do that? Just come
I
natural,
think
I
he
guess.
was being the next motocross who was great at the starts.
Well, Norcote then got a good start as well, but as you say, Kageyama, the man who's away at the front, not a
He's
great
always
start
prepared
from
to try
Pitt for
hard.
the first time.
Of course, 5th or 6th on the track at the moment, obviously maintains that big advantage.
Well, effectively, he's still leading at the moment, anyway.
Looks like he started to slide.
Another rider's gone off with him.
Is that Pitt?
That could be Pitt. Mudridge is making international signals for not happy. And as we said, a lot of Pete out there.
Everyone's under pressure.
A lot of pressure out there.
The rise of things, everybody's under pressure here. And to be honest though, think it was Tosin, turn one, just got clipped up with someone else and they nearly went down, but he's back in the pack there now. Same as Walker, I saw Walker in about 4th or 5th. There he is, 5th place Walker, 6th place Tosin just behind the Coney. Kept them waiting for quite a long time off the start, but got to wait till he is. Mugridge, Harger.
Bermuda's got past Bay and unleashed 200 horsepower times 28 towards that first bend, which is a long way down. Who's going to get into the first corner? It's all important. 4 manufacturers on the front row, 4 winners, 4 proven Superbike heroes. Who's it going to be? The lights were out for a long time there, and they had to hold them. Good start by Corsa, a better start by Harger, and they all head down towards the first corner for the first time. But it looks like Bermuda's got away, but I think Harger's got it. Yes, he has. Bermuda's got second, and Corsa goes into third.
We've got Pitt as well. Pitt just come up 4th.
So Tosin's the one that's got the worst out of that one, because Harger got a real run on that, and he is away and running.
Oh, Tosin just on the inside of Kagiyama.
Tosin trying to make the effort then. He doesn't want to get lost. And look at him, he's right up there. And he's got poetic about that in many ways. Chris isn't thinking about that at the moment. He's just thinking about getting off that line. And that's the key here to Hassan. He's in pole position, his first of the year. Can he go for the double? Away they go. And a good start by all the front row, but especially Corsa. Tosin didn't get away that well, but Corsa did. Great start from him. Just what he needed, the Suzuki man. But Harger's done it again. What is he like? Nitro Nori hit the button early.
That's Kagiyama just slipping the third, just in front of Troy Corsa as well.
Wow, so you're quite right. Kagiyama it was, but I presumed it was Corsa from the front row. Kagiyama was flying. Brilliant. Oh, Tosin doesn't mess about.
Just up the inside of Vermeulen, so this is ideal for the race. You know, Vermeulen hasn't got away up front.
And Pitts with Harger.
Was it Hamay as well, just slithering up the inside of Martin?
Well, I said a lot of the guys on the second row wanted a good start, and look at Pitt and Kagiyama. A brilliant start by them. They're second and third. Then comes Corsa, Tosin and Vermeulen. As you saw, Tosin just slipping through on Chris Vermeulen. Mugridge Bostrom's got up to 8. How did Bostrom do that?
As well, Tosin just really ran it in there and got it.
If you can see a very, very bright Brazilian colours there on row 3. That is, of course, Alex Barros, the 35-year-old MotoGP veteran who's making his debut in World Superbike competition. Watch those lights. When they go out, we go! We go!